In this video, I'll show several effects from Travis Scott's most popular clip and show you how you can repeat the same thing for just $0. Almost. We can start right now. Despite the fact that this clip was created more than 5 years ago, it still attracts attention and boasts unusual effects. And some effects, like tracking to Travis' head, are still used today. Today in the video, I will analyze the first part of the clip and the effects in it, and you will learn how to repeat the head tracking effect, how to make such an interesting glitch transition, and make a 3D head like that when there is nothing in the background. For head tracking, I took this fragment, a recommendation from me before you take your source. That's important that there is some part of the face that will be easy for the program to recognize, otherwise you will do the tracking manually. For this effect, on the right side of the screen, open the tracker window and find the stabilize motion effect with these settings. If you don't have this window, go to the window tab and select tracker. On the work area, you will have two squares with which you should mark the area on the face that is clearly displayed in the frame. The inner square is the one that defines the tracking area, and the outer one is for the zone within which this tracking area will be. I know this may sound confusing, but just listen to it again and you will understood. After setting up the zones for tracking, you have to click on this arrow and the analysis will begin. If you have a lot of frames, the program will need more time to analyze. It can also take a long time if the analysis area is too large. After analysis, you will see small squares with a line. This line is the trajectory of movement. If the analysis as a result isn't entirely correct, you can correct it on certain frame. Just move these squares. When you are satisfied with the result, click on the apply button and OK. After that, your clip may shift greatly beyond the framework of your composition. And to cope with this, you need to enlarge this composition and, if necessary, move it so that everything is within the framework of the composition. As a result, you will get this effect, which is still relevant today. Now I'll move on to the transition, which looks very dirty. He does this effect under the beat, but since this is situational, I'll just make a transition without matching the beat. All you need is the AE Pixel Sorter 2 effect. Add to footage between which you need a transition. Create an adjustment layer on top of them. Find Pixel Sorter and drag it onto the adjustment layer. Now listen and watch carefully. On the next footage, you need to go to the FX settings, open input and process and change the smooth parameters to 10%, angle to 270, threshold to 0. Now, select this effect and duplicate it with the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+D and change the angle parameter to 180. Now, everything has turned into something unclear, but now we will make an animation. Select the smooth and threshold settings in both effects, click on the clock and put the keys here. Step back a second and a half and make the settings for the first effect like this. Smooth is 0 and threshold is 1. On the second layer, step back a frame and do threshold by 1 as well. Thus, your effect will start with normal footage and after a second and a half, it will look like that. Now, from the second keys, step forward for a second and set the settings of the first effect to smooth to 100 and threshold to 1. And moving forward 1.5 seconds, make the settings of the second layer the same as in the first. Select all the keys and press F9 for a smoother animation. If you compare the graphs before and after, you'll notice that the graph is no longer just flat, which means there will be no sharp transition where the value changes. The duration of this transition can be changed by moving the keys closer or further from the center. And now you have knowledge of this effect too, but do know the basics of the program in order to edit videos well. If you don't know, then welcome to my best course for After Effects, where I'll tell you in detail about this program so that you have no questions left and you will do 3 cool works. Link in description. Now comes the fun part. Embedding a 3D object in a video, recreating a head in 3D is very difficult, so I propose an alternative in the program of a skull, because it's very similar, but you may disagree. I have this skull, but I have it in the FBX format. This format is not suitable for After Effects, so you will need to use Blender. And you shouldn't be afraid of this, we'll just convert it into a suitable format. To do this, you need to go to the official Blender website or find it on Steam and download it. Now import this model into Blender and delete the camera, cube and light. Now export to OBJ format. Great, you did it. I have this clip and I need to place the skull in the background. To do this, you need tracking again. There's a video about this on the channel and I recommend watching it so that you understand how it works and what it's needed for. Select the footage layer and select track camera. For better analysis, check this box. It will allow you to improve the quality with analysis. After analysis, circle the desired area and create a black solid. In order to add a 3D element, find the element plugin and add it to this solid. Click on the scene setup, import. Here, select the file you exported from Blender. In the edit tab, you can adjust the color, glossiness, size and so on. Click OK. Now you have a skull in this scene, it's tied to a specific area, but since he isn't behind a person, this needs to be corrected. To do this, duplicate the clip layer using the rotor brush tool. You need to cut out trace. Don't forget to check each frame. After that, click freeze. Now you can adjustments to the edge in the FX settings so that it looks natural. Now move this layer above the skull. You can move the skull any way you want. To fit the skull in, add a Gaussian blur to it and make a blur similar to what is already there. Now you know how to make exactly these effects. Write in the comments if you want the second part where I'll show you how to repeat other effects from this clip. On my site you can find queries for After Effects and you will find a lot of useful things for yourself. In the meantime, watch these videos.